If your For You page is anything like mine, it's probably a disaster. You've got 19-year-old dropshippers telling you to wake up at 3 a.m, taking a freezing cold shower, staring at a wall, and repressing every emotion you've ever felt, all to be productive. They call this Stoicism, but it's really just masochism with a filter. If you think Stoicism is about becoming a Sigma male who never cries and treats life like a solo RPG, you've probably been scammed. You aren't building a philosophy or building a coping mechanism, so let's delete the brain rot and try fix this. So we're not really talking about Stoicism today, we're talking about what I like to call broicism. This is what happens when you take a deep ancient philosophy about virtue and turn it into a skin you buy in a video game to look tough. So before we get into any specifics, let's be real now. I'm not hating on self-improvement. If monk mode helps you study, or if watching David Goggins scream helps you hit the gym, go for it. That energy can be good. But there is also a dark side. We are seeing a generation use Stoicism to dissociate from reality. We've essentially traded virtue for aura. By the end of this video, we're going to debunk the 3 biggest lies of the internet Stoicism, and potentially look through a mental framework that actually handles the anxiety, situationships, and looming feeling that the world is cooked. So the first thing we're going to be targeting is looking at Stoicism as a means for a grindset hack. That's one of the issues that we're stuck with. In the corporate and influencer world, Stoicism is sold as a way to turn yourself into the ultimate worker drone. The logic goes, I can't control the economy, I can only control my hustle. So I'll work 80 hours a week and feel nothing about it, all in the pursuit of success. But if you suppress your burnout to increase your productivity by like 20%, you aren't a Stoic philosopher. You're an NPC, an overworked one. You're literally optimizing yourself for someone else's passive income. So let's take a look at the use their logic pivot. Seneca, the OG Stoic, wasn't trying to optimize his workflow. He explicitly stated that wealth is an indifferent. It's nice to have like a good Wi-Fi signal, but it doesn't make you a good person. If your version of Stoicism is just a strategy to make more money while being miserable, you've missed the point. People today treat Stoicism as a psychological armor. The expectation is that you're unbothered and you're locked in, but the reality is that you're actually suppressing your stress until your hair falls out. Real Stoicism shouldn't be about enduring toxicity to get the bag. It's about having the self-respect to say, this is too much, and having the courage to restructure your life. But hustle culture isn't even the worst version. The real danger is the side of the internet that tells you to just give up early, the black pill. The next myth we're going to be targeting is acceptance being equal to the it's so over mentality. We need to talk about the doomers, the black pill guys, the ones obsessing over jawlines, canthal tilt, and their biological determinism. They love quoting Stoicism to justify rotting in their bedrooms. They look at the dichotomy of control and they twist it into an absurd scenario. It's like spawning into a lobby, seeing the other team having a slightly higher rank or a little bit better weapons, and immediately throwing your controller through your screen. That's not philosophy, that's rage quitting. The black pill translates Stoicism into, I can't control my height, so I'll never speak to a woman again and hate society. When in reality, if you can't control your height, you should instead focus on your character. So the first thing we need to do is conduct an agency audit. Here's the fix, right? We need to stop asking what is out of my control, because that list creates anxiety. Instead, ask yourself, where does your agency lie? Let's apply this to the classic Gen Z crisis, getting ghosted. If they left you on red and it's been like, 14 hours now, the doomer reaction would be to say they're unlovable, consider dating apps rigged, and instead decide to rot in their rooms. The Stoic reaction, for those of you guys that have actually checked where your agency lies, is to say, the text is sent, the past is determined, my agency allows me to mute their notifications and go to the gym, and not double text like a desperate weirdo. See the difference? One is a dead end, the other is a path forward. But the biggest lie, the one that makes you socially awkward, is about emotions. If you think a Stoic is supposed to be a stone-faced statue, you're about to fail. The next myth is that apatheia means being dead inside. There is a massive confusion between the English word apathy, which is to not care, and the Greek word apatheia, which is not being a slave to emotion. Internet Stoicism tells you to kill your emotions to maintain frame. The modern Sigma says, I feel sad, so I'm going to stare into a mirror and mew until the feelings go away. Marcus Aurelius, on the other hand, one of the OG Stoics, literally wrote pages crying about missing his friends and being stressed about the wars. We need to cognitively reframe our understanding of Stoicism. We need to replace suppression with investigation. I want you to think of your emotions like pop-up ads or notifications. If you're suppressing your emotions, you're going to be clicking the X button frantically while the malware installs in the background. If you're a real stoic, you're going to read the notification, recognize, oh, I'm feeling angry, and then check, is this a valid update? Why am I feeling angry? What's the reason behind it? Investigate, introspect. The next time you see something anywhere, let's take X for example, that triggers you, first stop, don't retweet or don't reply through anger, then take a look. Name the feeling. Why do you feel triggered? What is the actual emotion that you're feeling? And then assess. Are you actually mad, or are you being farmed by the algorithm for engagement? Finally, we have to kill the lone wolf myth. Stoicism is inherently pro-social. Marcus Aurelius said, what is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bee. Humans are social animals. We literally die faster without community. If your philosophy makes you hate normies, you aren't enlightened, you're just lonely. Black pills view the society as broken and think of themselves as going off-grid. Real Stoics look at this as being cringe, so they need to be the people who bring kindness and logic into the group chat. So let's take a look at the memento mori, the antidote to this issue. What's the point, right? The Broics use death to scare you into working harder. The Doomers use death to justify doing nothing. We're going to use it for focus. You're going to die, and that is the only guarantee. Do you want to spend your limited screen time or your limited life LARPing as a cold, emotionless statue? Or do you want to build character that garners respect, that can handle the chaos of the modern world without losing your humanity? The only thing I can leave you with is this message. Stop trying to be a rock, be a filter. And if you're interested in any other videos that I've made another one about boredom and how boredom is the biggest fear that we're facing in modern society and why it really shouldn't be. Go check that out if you're interested.